What's going on, everybody? So I apologize that last month I didn't have a video game pickup, simply because I only had about 3 games to show, and I didn't think that was really worth doing a video that would have only really been about 2 minutes long. So I waited a little bit and got a few extra games for this month. So we're just going to kind of dive into it. And of course, we're going to start off with the good old PlayStation Vita. And I got the last release from Axis Game, the Psychedelic of the Ashen Hawk. This is the last of their Summer of Mystery. There's 3 in total. This is also the currently last retail release for a while for PlayStation Vita. They had a promotion as well where if you bought all 3 of their last retail games, they have a limited edition pin set that was only around 1,000 of them, 1,000 sets actually made. I do have that coming, so I'm looking forward to that. Of course, we have a limited run release that came in. This is Cyrilem. Which the cover I'm a little disappointed in. It's very low res, and I know that this is supposed to be more of a pixelated RPG, but come on, guys, you can do a little better than that. And it did come with a collector card. This is number 153. It's kind of cool. It's a common card, nothing special. Along with that, this is kind of something I bought on the whim, just because it actually sold out fairly fast. And this wasn't one that I originally was going to set out to get. As I'm mostly gearing towards trying to get a US collection of Vita games instead of all the extra stuff, but this is from PlayAsia, and this is Reverie, the limited edition, which comes with an art book and a soundtrack. This is limited to 3,000 copies only. This is number 2,897. It is a fairly short RPG, and it is inspired, the graphics at least are inspired by Earthbound. So if you can imagine Earthbound with a fairly short RPG game, that's pretty much what this is. And they sent this cool little bumper sticker, which is kind of neat. And of course, being a Sonic fan, if you can't tell from the stuff behind me, I had to, of course, pick up the physical version with the pretty holographic cover of Sonic Mania Plus. This is the PlayStation 4 version. And since I wanted it on the go, and there is no Vita version, I had to get it on the Switch. So one of the few Switch games I have, Sonic Mania. I'm not sure if I'll actually open this one or not, but at least I have it if I ever travel or something. I can easily get it and have it on the go. And that was the purpose of buying it. Plus the fact that I got a nice little discount since I still have the Gamers Club unlocked from Best Buy. Speaking of short RPGs, this is one I highly recommend if you do like anime JRPGs. This is one we haven't actually seen since the PlayStation 2 era. This is part of the Shining series. Some of you might have played the strategy RPG versions of this back on the Genesis. They seem to be more going towards the action RPG. That is Shining Resonance Reframe, and I got the Xbox version because I really don't show a lot of love to my Xbox. So I wanted to have something that I can actually do that with. That way it's just not sitting around. This does come with a nice little slipcase, which is kind of cool. This is a metal tin. You can hear it or not. It is magnetic. Of course, on the front we have our 2 main female girls, and then we have our villainess on the back. And this just has a single slot, so the game actually sits inside. And this has actually got, kind of, in a sense, it's 2 versions of the game. You have the original mode that you can play, which was the one that was released in Japan, and then it has the reframe version, which is basically the same game, however, it gives you 2 extra characters that were originally DLC in Japan, and a couple extra cutscenes, but it's nothing that really adds too much to the story. They do recommend that you play the original mode first. That way it makes a little more sense, so you don't have these extra characters showing up, and you're just kind of like, where'd they come from, and they don't really have much of a play in the hero side of the story. But it's a fairly short game. I managed to actually finish this in about 27 hours, which is actually really short for a JRPG. It's very easy to grind on here once you figure out how to go through the dungeons and level up. The enemies do get tougher as you go along. There's a sharp incline in difficulty level on the first level. Basically, the enemies are very easy, and when you get to the boss, and all of a sudden they're like 10 levels higher than you are, so it forces you to go back and actually grind a bit to get leveled up more. But yeah, I do recommend it if it's something you're interested in. This is available on the Switch and PlayStation 4 as well. And then Matt and I actually took a trip to Madison. It's been a while since we really have been up there to do any game hunting. And we hit one of our usual spots. And one of the series I wanted to get is the Blood Rain series, which is available for the original Xbox. And of course, I didn't have my list with me to tell me which one I had. I wasn't sure if it was the first or second game, but they had the first one there. It was only $5. So I picked up the original Blood Rain. And of course, wouldn't you know, when I got home, I realized this was the one I actually had. So now I have 2 copies, and no Blood Rain 2. So maybe I could use this trade bait, but again, it was fairly cheap. This does have a little bit better cover than what my other copy has, so I may swap those out. But I'm on the lookout for the Blood Rain 2 of this, so that way I have both of those for the original Xbox. They are both backwards compatible with Xbox One X, so that's kind of something. And it does look a little better on there because they do enhance the graphics a bit more. So. And lastly, a more uncommon game, I actually ran across a Sega Saturn game. And this is the Pinball. I think there's only like 2 pinball games on the Saturn that were actually released. This is one of them. I'm not sure how good this one is. I didn't really look up any video or scores on it. I just knew that it is complete in box. The guy gave me a really good deal on it. And these I don't come across very often, so I try to pick up as many Saturn games as I can when I do find them. So, if they're crap or whatever, they're still hard to come by, so I figured I might as well grab it anyway. So, but that's it. Probably my highlight of the last 2 months was just getting a Saturn game, really, to add. So, but other than that, that's it for this month. A lot of heavy hitters coming in the next couple months. Of course, we got Shenmue 1 and 2 collection coming out. Really looking forward to that. Dakota Princess EX on the PlayStation, or Switch, I should say, which is a remake of the 3DS game that was released back, gosh, I don't know if it was 2005, 2008, somewhere around there. But kind of want that. So we'll see what happens. So nice, short, and sweet for you guys. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.